What do you think the solution is? I don't, like clearly we didn't have as much of this before, so we must have done
Yeah,
something wrong lately, like in the 90s, 2000s,
yeah,
2010s with the smartphone. I don't know, man. What do you
yeah.
think the solution
It's
is?
pretty much like it's very multifactorial,
Yeah,
and it's very just there's so many things, man. Yeah,
so many
this.
things.
I mean, there's a smartphone. Immigration's a big issue, man. Like I would talk to like Indians in Canada talking about how they grew up because in India, all these Indian guys they just did arranged marriage.
Yeah,
They can find a girl easily with arranged marriage. Arranged marriage isn't a thing in the West.
right.
So they don't really have arranged marriage. So it's very like you gotta like do your own thing and just try to like. But a lot of guys struggle with that.
Is there arranged marriage in Sri Lanka?
Yeah, it's same in Sri Lanka
Did
as
your
well.
parents? Were your
No,
parents? No.
my parents didn't, but a lot of them do. A lot of parents get arranged marriage.
Would you like that for yourself?
I don't know. The problem is that I'm not very. One of the struggles with me is that I'm not like super close to my parents, because like just the way I'm talking and my, you know what I mean. Like it would be weird. I'm not like a traditional person. The stuff that I'm saying, I don't think I sound like a traditional Sri Lankan person. I sound very like kind of like
Raised by the internet.
yeah, raised by the internet, man. I'm talking about VCs. And I'm talking about really weird subculture stuff. So I'm clearly like on my. I'm not like a family oriented like person. So I'm not
Hmm.
super close. But one of the dangers of is that arranged marriage is one of those things where it's like there's pros and cons to it. But one of the pros is that it kind of helps people like find a good partner that they can
Sure.
be with and stuff. But the
And if they're
downside,
really against it, they can like their
yeah,
parents will oftentimes listen to them the way I understood it.
yeah, they'll listen to them. But it's one of those things where there's an element of you like you gotta like allow your parents to choose your wife for you, and a lot of guys can't like get in line with that.
But if you tell your parents like, no, this is
Mm,
not the
yeah,
right person at all,
yeah,
sometimes they will help you. Like they will choose another one.
yeah,
Maybe not all of them, but
yeah. They'll choose another one. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, the extreme version of that is probably like you go to like some tribal community in like Somalia, and it's like forced marriages. Like you force your daughter to marry this person. That's like a very
yeah,
extreme version of it.
and often
Yeah,
underage daughters.
yeah, underage and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's like a very extreme version of it. But yeah, it is a very kind of struggle and kind of
I think I
hopelessness.
think it's all about people. Like I think the
Yeah,
solution is all about people going back to our social nature because we're not
yeah,
starving.
yeah,
We have food. We have a roof to sleep under. We have clean water. So I think it's
mm,
our Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
yeah,
I think it's the other need, which is the social things. And if you look at it
mm,
today in the developed parts of the world, which are going to be the more suicidal places,
mm,
you're seeing a lot of isolation. For example,
yeah.
Sweden is one of the like has the most single person households in the world, I believe,
Okay.
around like 50%, something like that.
Oh, okay.
And it's also a lot of depressed people. And I think we need to go back, revert to maybe like 70s, 80s, where we actually went out and met people. We got
Hmm.
off we didn't have phones. We had maybe a house phone.
Yeah, yeah,
Like imagine having a house phone, and if you miss a call, you miss a call, and like there's not
yeah,
these expectations, and you go to your sports, you go to maybe a party, and
yeah,
I don't know. I think that's the community is what's lacking today.
yeah. The thing is that like we're never really gonna go back to that unless I know there's like Amish communities, which are like
Sure.
subcultures in America where you have like people that are very like insular, and they don't like accept like technology. They kind of reject smartphones. They reject all that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's like a very insular kind of community. But it's very hard to unless you like are in that community. It's very hard to prevent your kid from accessing smartphones and Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram and all that stuff, Reddit,
Although
TikTok and
the
stuff.
next best things, the Jews have the Sabbath, and they on
Yeah,
the Sundays they don't use any technologies.
yeah, that is an option. I know Mormons and Jews, Mormons is some other thing, and Jews. It kind of you kind of have to raise your kid in a very structured kind of environment and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's also really hard to control your kids. I can't imagine having a kid and because a lot of kids reject religion. A lot of kids just go their own way and do their
Sure.
own thing, and especially when they become adults, they kind of do their own thing. And there's sort of like an inevitability to like destruction almost. It's like you can't even do anything about it. You have to just watch it happen. But
Yeah.
But I think there are instances where like, okay, well maybe I can just like join an Amish community, and then I can like prevent like
Or like a
all that stuff.
co-living.
Yeah,
There
something
are
like that.
some spaces like that. I've actually done some research into it.
Yeah, there
They like
is.
cooperate and live together and cook meals.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is possible, and it does happen.
There's a book
So,
about it also, like from behaviorists like B.F.
mhm.
Skinner. He actually had a
Okay,
book. It's called Walden 2,
okay.
and Walden was there was first a book called just Walden, and that was about I think a guy who moved into nature, maybe
Mm,
alone, and he did all of these things like naturally. And Walden
mm,
2 is by these psychologist B.F. Skinner, and that's
mm,
about like this his best possible
mm,
society where people are like cooperating and they're living
mm.
together and everything is done like so efficiently as possible and everybody's
Oh
happy
wow,
and but
interesting. Yeah,
it's fiction, but there are like
fiction.
communities that have tried to emulate that and like
Mm,
incorporate his ways. It's kind of interesting if someone's interesting.
interesting.
It's
Yeah, I
kind of
think I
a
might have vaguely heard of that. I'll check that book out. It
yeah,
sounds kind of interesting.
it's kind of a
Yeah.
rabbit hole.
Yeah, I know, I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, there's a lot of like books and movies about like the Truman Show, or there's a movie by Olivia Wilde. There's a bunch of stuff about just
Yeah.
like future stuff, but it's always like dystopian future. It's always like these planned societies tend to just like be actually like dystopian.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What would you say? Like, what's that word for the dream society?
the
Like,
dream society.
yeah, like if someone has a
Oh,
not
is it
eudaimonia, but it's like
like there's like utopia or
utopia,
utopia?
exactly,
Okay, okay.
utopia. Well, like
Yeah.
in like kind of short, what's your? Because we've been talking for 3 hours.
Oh,
What's
okay.
your utopia in a few sentences?
My view for utopia is that I don't believe it's real. That's my view.
Oh,
I don't believe utopia is possible. I think utopia is inherently impossible. I think that's what religion believes in, like afterlife. I think utopia. I think a lot of the communists believe in utopia. I think a lot of people believe in that we can create a perfect thing. I do believe in betterment, that you can improve things,
sure.
but improvement has to do with structure and community and finding purpose, um, and sort of finding sort of like purpose and reason essentially, and like pretty much like copiums, you just have to like create copiums for continuing to live. So
But what's the least bad then? I know nothing is
well,
perfect, but what's the
I would say bad is probably
least bad?
oh well, yeah, I mean least bad is pretty much trying to essentially manufacture a reason for living. So finding groups, finding trying to find relationships and communities.
I hope you enjoyed that clip of the HH podcast. If you want to see another clip, click here down to your left. And if you want to see the whole unedited episode, click down here to your right. And last but not least, if you want to subscribe, you can do so here in the middle. Thank you.